Hey guys, good morning, everybody. Today is Monday, October 24th. It is 6:19 right now. Market's going to open in about 11 minutes. So I'm going to go ahead and set up this room real quick, and then we can get started shortly with our live session analysis for today. So just give me a few moments to finish setting this up, and we will get started shortly. All right, so that's good. Couple more things here to update. It's good. It's good. All right, solid. So with that said, let me get this link set out to you guys here in the premium. All right, looks like we're good to go. So I'll get a few moments for people to make their way in. Hey, Kenny, morning. So let's see, as people make their way in, I'm going to go ahead and mark up the SR zones right here, just so that we have them on the chart. Let's see, a couple more right here. Here, right here. All right, so it's kind of nice that the zones are a bit spread out, so they're not overlapping so much. There's a couple up there that are overlapping, some down here as well, but we will make some adjustments. This one right here. All right. So we got those zones marked up right there. Let's see who's here so far. It looks like people are still making their way in. So I'll get a few moments for people to continue to join in. But good morning, everybody. Happy Monday. Today is Monday, October 24th. It is 6:22 right now. Market's going to open in about 8 minutes. I got everything pretty much set up right here with regard to the SR zones for our SR rejection entries. What I need to do next is I need to take a look at the overall direction. So with that said, let's take a look at sentiment right now. Sentiment is currently 56% short, so we're probably gonna be looking for some buys today. We'll continue further and see what we can do from here. 56% short. Fundamentals are currently from pre-market, so fundamentals are currently at 200. We'll put 200 points, and then we'll see if it changes from there. As long as it's above, 100, that's all that really matters. 4-hour time frame is bullish. It's been bullish for a long time now. 1 hour also bullish. So yeah, just as I mentioned with the retail sentiment, looks like we're going to be looking for some buys today. 30-minute also bullish. 15-minute also bullish. If you guys are wondering where am I pulling this data from, if you guys look down to the trend meter, you guys have access to the K2 indicators or Kodi indicators. Down here, you can see it's green. When it's green, this means it's bullish. When it's blue, it means it's neutral. When it's red, it means that it is bearish. So if you look down at the bottom on all these time frames, price is bullish, right? 1 minute over here, obviously not, but this can be shifting its way back up. If you look at the structure over here, it looks like price is technically going sideways because price did break into this range right here. Now it's been going sideways. So we'll see where this goes in the next couple of minutes. Market is opening in about 6 minutes. Once we get that, we can have an idea as, you know, where we decide on trading on. Looking over here on the clean chart, I'm going to mark up market structure so that you guys can have a better idea as to like where price is going. This is the easiest way to identify market structure, right? If you don't know where price is going, or you have a little idea as to where price is going, but you don't know exactly where, you know, just draw the high lows here. If you open the K2 high low indicator, you really just mark this up and you can see where price is really going. You know, with the naked chart right here, it's kind of hard to see. Once you guys actually draw up the K2 high lows right here, you guys can see if I turn off the indicator, you can see that price is ranging right now. It's not really going anywhere. There's a small range right here. You know, and there's a bigger range right here. And there's an even bigger range right here, right? Price is just going into its tighter and tighter range as price continues to move along. If you guys didn't have the indicator, you guys didn't know how to plot, you know, market structure there, this is what your chart would look like. It looked hard to tell, right? You might think price is coming down, but realistically it's going sideways, right? Because it looks like price is in a downtrend right now. It might be in a small downtrend, but realistically it's still in the, you know, in a big range right here. If you look at the full range. So right now, as you guys can see, price is pretty much just ranging. It's not really doing too much. But we'll see when the market actually opens in the next 5 minutes, which will help us really determine, you know, whether price is going to keep dropping, whether it's going to range into this area, or whether it's going to break above. Bias is obviously bullish, so we might get a breakout to the upside, breakout to the downside on open, and then price may fake out and come back up. So we'll see. Morning, Cern. Morning, Maria. Morning, everybody. So market is opening in about 4 minutes. We have pretty much everything marked up here. Looking over here on the 10 as well. Yeah, I mean, it looks fine. It looks like on the longer term bias, it's bullish, but short term right now on the 1 minute, it's obviously looking like it's coming down. But I think this might be a fake out. Price may come down slightly. It may even bounce off the structure right here. So now price is at the structure right here, this support. There's like two things that can happen. Price can either bounce off, shoot up, or price can break below and test the next level down here. Lots of possibilities here. So what we need to do is we need to minimize these possibilities. Instead of there being, you know, 5, 6 potential directions, you need to pretty much bring it down to like 2 or 1 very likely potential. So here goes, price bounces off this area here. We're about 3 minutes to market open. So we still have a bit of some time. It's not going to happen right now, but it will shortly. Let me check the news real quick as well. So today, Monday, October 24th, there's news coming up right here at 6:45, high impact news. We'll mark that up over here. I don't think there was anything pre-market. Yes, we do have high impact news coming up right there at 6:45. And we have news over here at 8. Yellen is going to be speaking. So some pretty heavy news today. Well, we'll see where that goes. I'm still not taking the breakout, guys. So I'll mark up the breakout if we do see it. I mean, overall bias here is bullish. So I'd probably be looking for a buy here, but I mean, we'll have to wait and see, you know, what it's looking like as we get closer to market open in the next minute and 50 seconds. So market is going to be opening shortly. Let's get a few moments. And we'll see where this breakout's going. So I'll mark up the breakout, but again, I'm not going to be taking it because obviously reasons, the market's not really moving. We don't really have a clear direction here. That's what I'm trying to get across. So price is still in a range. But here's the tricky part. As you guys can see, there's a lot of liquidity on both sides, right? Ton of liquidity up here. So if price spikes up, it's going to blast right through it. If price spikes down, it's going to blast through down here as well, right? So there's a lot of possibilities of, you know, price going in either direction. So, yeah, I mean, just keep that in mind when looking to take this break. If you guys do decide to take it, this price can really go in either direction right now. It's a ton of liquidity on both sides. Market is opening in about 40 seconds. So if we get a buy signal right here, we can be looking for a possible buy for the breakout. I'd be more inclined to take a buy here. The only problem is that there is a sessions right here, right? So even if we do get a buy at any point here, there is a sessions right here. And yeah, it's not going to be a good area to be trading in. So see what happens here. Market is opening in about 10 seconds. Market opens, we can take a look as to where the breakout will be going. We have a sell signal right here. So the breakout might be a sell. I mean, it could be a sell or it could be a buy, either way. I'm not going to take it. I'm just going to mark it up. So we're looking for a strong red candle here. If we get a strong red candle here, this would be a breakout for a buy. If we get a buy signal with a strong green candle, which, you know, go hand in hand together, then we would have a buy for the breakout. So let's have two of these charts marked up right here. Pretty much just got to wait for this to close. But again, I'm not taking this trade. I'll follow it, but I'm not going to take it because there just is no strong bias here. So if this closes here as a strong red candle, this would technically be the breakout. As you guys can see, huge wicks on both sides right here. So I don't consider this a good candle to enter on, even if it does close as the breakout, because it just shows a lot of uncertainty here. There's no clear direction. Price is kind of going back and forth. There's no buy signal right here. So this cannot be a buy for the breakout. This candle is going to close and we'll see where it goes. Now we have this pending buy signal right here that is currently still bouncing around a bit. It needs to close as a strong green candle with that buy signal in order for it to be the breakout. Looks like it could be. We got about 40 seconds left on it, but as you can see, as price pushes up, it's getting closer and closer to these sessions up here. So I'm probably not going to take this for a full move, or I mean, I might even take it at all, but I'm kind of tempted to catch maybe a partial move of it at some point if I do get the opportunity. However, this candle here is not that strong, so I'm probably going to skip out on it. If I do take it for a partial move, I'll let you guys know, but I think as of now, analyzing the chart right here, or the candle, this candle is not very strong. It might close at the last second, but I don't know if this is going to hold. So we'll see where it goes from there. So this right here would be the breakout. If anything, I'll take it for like a quick little 100 pips or so. No, I'm not going to take it. You can see right here that this candle here didn't even close, so it's not the entry. You guys can see how it's kind of volatile. It's going back and forth, but there's no clear direction. This wick right here was too big, so it still wouldn't have counted as the breakout. Again, we have another opportunity with this following candle right here. But as it gets closer and closer to like the structure, and as it gets closer to the sessions over here, it's going to be a weaker trade. So this is the problem here. If I'm looking to take this right here and price does close below the structure right here, I would be worried that price would bounce off it, right? And then go into some drawdown. So we got about 3 minutes until 6:35. The cutoff for the breakout is typically the first 5 minutes. So if it doesn't happen within the first 5 minutes, then there's no breakout for the day. So not very much movement here. Let me mark up opening price. Again, no entry off that. And just no direction at all, really. Price is kind of just going sideways right now. So I'm going to take this off. I'm not going to take the breakout, or I'm not going to follow it. It doesn't look like we're going to get one anytime soon. You can see price is kind of attempting to figure out a direction here, but it just keeps going back and forth. So a couple things here that I'm going to mark up. I will mark up opening price right there. And I'm going to go ahead and mark up 6:30. So we can see if there's any direction here for the session. All right. So another pending buy signal right here for a possible breakout entry, but the candle does not look very strong. Huge wicks on both sides. And again, no entry there. Here goes price bounces around again. All right. So this would be the last candle. If this doesn't close as a strong green candle, then there's obviously no breakout. Also, you can see that this is too far up. It's too close to the sessions now. So not exactly what I'd be looking to take. If this does close as a buy signal, this is fine because we're looking for buys here anyways. We may be able to identify, some SR rejections or even some high-low quick scalps. So if this closes, I'll leave it marked up. I'm not going to take it. Obviously, it's right at the sessions. It's one of the biggest red flags that we have to avoid trades. So again, you guys can see this candle right here. It doesn't even close with the momentum. It dropped at the very last second. If you guys saw that, we were waiting for it to close. And then literally at the last second, it spiked down and the signal disappeared. So no breakout for today, guys. It's so good. It doesn't really matter because I wasn't looking to take that trade anyways. It's just the market's not moving very smoothly. However, it is moving in our directional bias. If you guys saw from earlier this morning, I marked up the overall direction right here. Retail sentiment was 56% short. Fundamentals were up 200 points, 4 hour, 1 hour, 30-minute, 15-minute, and 10-minute, all bullish. So we have a very strong bullish bias today. That's the direction I want to be trading in. But now that price is kind of spiked up like this, we now have to wait for it to retrace, which is completely fine. It's got to be patient. Keep in mind that today is Monday, guys. I know some of you guys lost track of the days, but it is Monday. So, Monday is usually one of the riskier days to trade, Monday and Friday, because people are entering the market from the weekend. A lot of orders getting filled. And Friday the same, and people are exiting the market. So this candle right here was really big. It's due for some retracement. You can see right here, this next candle is a bit red. It's pushed up about 1,340 pips in that last candle, which only ran for like a couple seconds. Yeah, exactly. Dijon said over 1,000 pip candle. Crazy. Yeah. So you guys want to be careful with this. Don't randomly just hop into trades here and chase these buys, because when you see a big move like this, it's obviously due for some retracement. As you can see right here, it hit all of liquidity that I marked up, right? So pre-market, or before we got to this point, price was down here. I mentioned price can really go either way. It can go up high where we want it to go, or it can come down here because there's liquidity on both sides. So you're really, tossing a coin, taking a 50-50 chance whether, price will go in that direction. But price did go up where we anticipated. It was just, we weren't really sure if it was going to actually push up through there, and you don't want to take a gamble unless you're really positive that price is going to push up. So right here, it looks like price is starting to bounce around a little bit. We need this high to get established, though. When price gets established up here, price can retrace down slightly. Once it retraces, it can establish a low down here. And once it has a low down there, we can identify it as a high-low quick scalp. So high-low quick scalp. We don't have any SRs around this area, so we're not going to have any room for any SR rejections. But for the most part, we can look for some variations, some V1 variations, V1 continuations, or high-low quick scalps, which they all kind of line up with each other. So we'll see how this retraces back down. Price is pushed up quite a bit right here. We're waiting for it to come back down. As it comes back down, we'll catch the continuation back up. So we need that retracement whenever it comes. All right, price is still pushing up. Let's see if there's anything else going on over here. We do have news coming up at 6:45. Probably one of the main things to look out for right now. It's flash services PMI, flash manufacturing PMI, some inflation news right here. It's coming up shortly in about 7 minutes. Yep, right here, S&P Global Composite PMI, S&P Global Services PMI, S&P Global Manufacturing PMI. So some very high impact news right there. You want to be careful taking trades around that time. I mean, you shouldn't be taking trades around that time at all. You might see a spike back down. So what I see when the news comes out, let me see what they're forecasting. They are, and we'll see, their forecasting to be positive, but actually it's weird because yeah, the forecasting is a little, actually no, you're right, it's the same thing. Yeah, it's about the same. I'm mean, forecast for my fixed book is forecasting it to be higher, while Forex Factory is forecasting to be lower. I'm assuming it's going to be lower though. Inflation news is never really good, and then we have a Yellen over here speaking as well. He's going to be talking about a lot of regulations in the market. So we'll see. We got that news event coming up over here in the next 5 minutes. Yeah, there's a double body right here, Rashida, and this could be the reversal pattern for price to correct back down. Not one I would personally take myself. Obviously, I don't like trading in the direction opposite of the bias, because the bias here is bullish. But you're right, there's a double body right there. It's a reversal pattern. You can see price coming back down. That could have been the identification for price to correct back down to fill this candle right here. So if you guys saw that right there, this is the reason why we look at variations, right? If you guys see these double bodies, double wicks, these are reversal patterns. So when you guys see something like that and you see prices overextended, so that's something that you guys could probably use as a speculative move. Like for example, here when price pushes up and you get a double body like this, and price has been pushing up for quite some time, this is a reversal pattern for price to come right back down. So same with this right here. This is what Rashid identified. She saw price go up. I mean, I personally wouldn't take it because I don't like trading against the the overall direction, which is bullish. So what I'd be looking for myself is I'm looking for this retracement to play out, and once this retracement's done, I'm looking to catch it on its way back up, right? So the same thing, like same difference. It's just I just find this to be a little more risky, but you spotted it on point right there. Jonathan caught it as well. So nice work, guys. If you guys caught that, I mean, if you guys see a V1 like this and it's due for retracement, you can always catch it for a small push, like for 100 pips or so, because this is 100 pips. You could catch 100 pips anywhere over here. This is where you don't want to get screwed with. You don't want to take it when price is already down here, because price may make its way back up. It's right at the sessions though, so you guys can see right here, price came down. It stopped like literally on the dot at the sessions right here. And then now it's coming back up. So this is kind of what I was looking for right here. We have a possible high-low scalp entry, but the problem with this here is that it's so close to the sessions that I don't think I would take the trade here. It's still too close for me. I need to push away. So this right here would be a high-low quick scalp, but as I mentioned, it's too close to the session, so I wouldn't take a trade here. The entry would have been right here. Yeah, entry would have been right there. It looks like it's going to push up and hit its TP, but I wouldn't take it because it's right at the sessions. Stop loss is too close to it. Easy for it to come down, spike, hit your stop loss, and then go up in profit, right? Oh, you're right. Yeah, sorry. Thanks, Patrick, for confirming that. I just realized that there was a sell signal right here, so there's actually no high-low quick scalp right there. So thanks for correcting me on that, Patrick. Yeah, I kind of overlooked this momentum signal right here. So you are right, Patrick. Yeah, no, exactly. And Tasha said she noticed it too. Yeah, sometimes it's like hard to notice because these signals come up often sometimes. Sometimes they come up often, sometimes they don't. I didn't even notice this was here because it lined up with the big candle so evenly. So anyways, price is coming down right here. We have news coming up in about 2 minutes. Let's see how this goes. Price is coming right back to opening price over here. If price does retrace down, this is probably going to be the target price point. So if price continues to drop, this is going to be the target right here. Looking over here on the clean chart, this is showing you that there is no direction in the market, right? Market opened right here at 630. Price faked out up here, came back down. This will be the area where price is likely to determine where it's going to go. If price drops further, when price gets to this point, one of two things can happen at this point. Price can either continue up higher or break below and knock out this liquidity right here. So a couple different scenarios that can play out there. News is coming up in about 1 minute and 5 seconds. So we'll see what happens once news is released right here. And we'll take it from there. All right, we got about 50 seconds until this to pass. Once it's passed, we'll see where it goes from there. All right, we got about 30 seconds left. All right, we got 15 seconds left on this candle. It's right at the session zone. So I'm expecting pretty big spike. Well, or maybe I don't know, we'll see. It's right at the session zone. All right, so it's attempting to make its way. There you go with this news candle right here. It's pushing up pretty hard. And I'm pretty sure the news is negative. Like price is pushing up, but I'm pretty sure the news is negative. Look how big this push is right here. Almost 2,000 pips right there. 1,720 pips off that news candle. Let's check the news real quick. And the news was, I don't have it yet. Still pending. Let's go back to the charts. Yeah, huge news candle right there. So this is why you don't want to screw with the news, right? Because this could easily go opposite of you. Although our bias is bullish, we did think price is going to go up. I'm pretty sure the news was actually negative. So there goes price pushes up higher. I'm going to refresh this real quick. And the news was still not there. Oh, weird. That's weird. Still loading. All right, well, whatever. I mean, it's not a big deal. It's not like we're trading off the news anyways. But yeah, huge candle right here. There goes the news candle. I'm going to take this off. And this is exactly why I wouldn't want to trade against the overall direction. So like Rashid over here identified this as a V1. I mean, wouldn't fit the criteria because you need the overall bias. But if you were to take this for a sell, yeah, you can make a quick buck right here. But, price would have swung right back up from that point. Let's see, Deswell said the 3-minute daily just hit its TP. Yeah, not sure if anyone took the 3-minute daily right here, but it looks like it did already play out. 5-minute as well. So this would be the 5-minute if it does close. Candle's too big though, so obviously I wouldn't take it. Way too big. This right here would be the daily as well on the 10-minute if it closes. Candle's just way too big though, so I mean either way on all these time frames, 10 minutes too big, 5 minutes too big, still not even there yet, still pending. The 1 minute over here, price starting to come back down. This is fine if price comes down like this. We want it to retrace so that we can get that low and continue it higher. So here is the clean chart. I'm going to update these zones real quick. Right there, one right there. So we have no low yet. Kind of want this to push down a little more for us to get that. Let's see. Let's take a look at the sentiment again. Or let me check the news real quick. Yes, the news here is negative, just like as anticipated, but price did the opposite and pushed up. So, I mean, you guys get the gist of it now, right? I always tell you guys, like, whenever news comes out, the opposite usually happens on the chart. So right here, news was negative, but price spiked up, like 2,000 pips right here. So, I mean, if you guys want to trade news, typically I would trade the opposite. Like if you're getting something that is like inflation news and stuff like that, it's going to be negative because the economy is not doing good right now. So it's always going to be negative. So if you kind of want to gamble on that, if and when you do, I don't recommend anybody do it. I mean, you can just buy even for like a quick little, push because the news is typically going to be negative until we're out of this, possible recession here. So here goes, price drops down a little lower. let's see. So we do have a possible high-low quick scalp here, but you want to be very careful about taking any of these entries here because this is still, price is still reacting to the news. So I'm probably going to hold off a little bit for price to stabilize before I look for these high-low quick scalps, because this right here just might continue dropping to basically fill the news candle right here, right? And this might close with the sell signal as well. So it's not something I'd really want to mess with. So this one over here has a pending sell signal. So this would kind of, I mean, this would have hit TP if you took it, but it had that pending sell signal right there, which is not a good move. So if you guys took the trade there, it would have hit TP. I didn't take it, as I mentioned. I'm waiting for some price to stabilize a little bit here. It's just not stabilized yet. This big candle right here is a news candle. Prices are retracing below it. So two areas for it to retrace, right? Price will either retrace to the middle of the candle, which is like somewhere right here. It's already met that point, or it can retrace to the full candle down here. So yeah, still not looking to take this here yet. And we got a sell signal coming up right here. We'll see if it continues to push up. I mean, if anything, there might be another high-low quick scalp on this next candle over here if this doesn't close with the sell signal. But my guess is that if it doesn't close with the sell signal, is the next candle will still have that pending sell signal. So probably another opportunity to skip. So, all right. Looks like price starting to stabilize. This is where the low has been established. So I'm gonna go over here to the clean chart, which is fine. Now that we have that established right there, we just need that buy signal to come back up. Once we get that buy signal for traces on the next one, we can take that for a high-low quick scalp. There's no SR zones down here. So there's no room for entry to take any SR ejections. This right here would have been a V1, but there was a momentum signal on it, so we couldn't take this trade. But you can see right here, double body. If you took that for a V1, would have been a full TP. So if you take a high-low quick scalp down here with the pending momentum, you would have had that full TP. If you took this as a variation V1 right here, another full TP right there, back to back. So as you guys can see, these strategies work perfectly fine in all types of market conditions. It just depends on your risk appetite. So right now, it's just a bit risky because a lot of this movement is based off the news candle that came up a few minutes ago. Now that price is starting to stabilize, we have opportunity to take some entries here. So we just need a buy signal to come up. That's the main thing. Once we get this buy signal, then we can start looking for entries here. And another reminder, guys, today we're having our mentoring session. So same time as usual, we're back on schedule, 2 p.m. Pacific. If you guys want to attend that, I do highly recommend it. We're going to be focusing on these 3 main strategies that we've been applying during these live sessions. The variation, V1 continuation, or I'll just say 4 strategies because the V1 and continuation are kind of similar, but they're also different. So 4 main strategies: the variation V1, V1 continuation, SR rejection scalp, and the high-low quick scalp. So we'll be focusing on that there, drilling down on it. I think that's pretty much going to be our main strategies for as long as we need to keep them. I think they work fine because they work in all market conditions. So it doesn't matter what season we're in, they all work pretty fine. So yeah, we'll be having that later today at 2. But for now, let's see if we can find another entry here. So price is coming back down lower. Looks like it's coming back down to test the news price. Looks like another double body here for a V1. Candle's too big though. Yeah, the candle's a little too big. So in order to determine whether the candle is too big, you just got to mark up your TP stop loss, 300 pips to stop loss. If the candle is bigger than it, then it's too big. The reason for that is because when the candle is big like this, price can easily retrace down. If it needs to retrace down to like half the candle or even full candle, that's where you get stopped out, right? So candle here is way too big. Spreads at 180, so volatility is good. All right, pending buy signal right there. That's perfect. So again, right here, guys, this was a V1. If you guys took that trade there, full TP again. I'm just showing you guys that there's entries here, not ones that I personally take because I don't like taking risky trades. But yeah, if this candle here wasn't that big, we could have taken it. Would have been a full TP, and it would have been a solid entry. But it's all good. Just gotta wait for this to continue. So we have this buy signal here that's pending. I'm gonna move this down a little lower. There. All right, we got a buy signal right here. All right. All right, so let's see where this goes here. We got this buy signal that's currently, or buy signal that's already up. We have a high here that's getting established, which is good. We need a high here to get established so that we can get another low. So we can't get two lows back to back. We need a high and a low. Then after this high is established, we'll have another low where we can take a high-low quick scalp after that. It's getting close to 7. So let's see where this goes. I don't think there's any other news until later today, right? Yeah, next news event's at 8 o'clock. Treasury Secretary Yellen speaking at 8 o'clock. If you guys are not familiar with Yellen, she's part of the Fed. She basically is really big on regulation. She's like the opposite of Powell. So when Powell speaks, price goes up. When she speaks, price usually goes down. All right, I kind of want this to push away from the momentum signal a little bit so it doesn't change to a sell signal. I want it to push up slightly a little higher. So this is kind of what I'm looking for here. I'm looking for price to push up a bit, retrace, not retrace too far. And then this is where we would make our entry, right? When price pushes up, comes back down, establishes a low. From there, we take our entry, write it on up. So I kind of want it to push a little bit higher. It's still not far enough because it's too close to the momentum signal right here. You can see typically when price drops below the momentum signal, it'll turn into a sell signal. So like, for example, here we had a sell signal, price came up. As soon as it pushed above it, we had a buy signal come up from there. So see as we follow this along. Let's take a look at the sentiment. Sentiment is at 57% short. Fundamentals are up almost 1,000 points, or no, it's at like 400 points down. So it's up pretty. It's still up pretty high. 57% short, and it's up over 400 points. Everything's still pretty bullish. All right, so we still want the high lows to be kind of spread out though. So that's one thing to keep in mind. We have a high right here. We don't want the low to come up like right here, right? We want it to push out a little further. So got to be a little careful about this area where we're trading at because prices, it's starting to squeeze. So you can see it better right here. You know, if we get a low that's too close, it's going to squeeze and it's going to be another range like that. So this is what we don't want because that strategy that we're looking at, the high-low quick scalp, that strategy is a directional strategy, right? For these sideways movements, we're okay with SR rejection entries, but we don't have any SRs around this area, so we can't even take any of those entries. So I think there'll be a sell signal that comes up sometime. There you go. We have a pending sell right here now. So unfortunately, we got to wait for it to come back up, but it is going into a range now. So as you guys can see right here, it's still pretty bullish. Market opener here at 630, price pushed up, came down, pushed back up higher, and now it's in a range down the middle right here, which is fine because once it's in a range like this, it'll have to choose a direction at some point. It can only range for so long until it gets pushed away. Right here, we have, I mean, there's a pending sell signal, so I don't know if we could take this for a high-low quick scalp on the next entry. Yeah, it looks like we're gonna have a pending sell signal on the next one if this one doesn't close. And we typically don't take these entries if they have a pending sell on them. Yeah, so we're gonna have to skip this one again. Pending sell signal right there. No wick, so it's fine. So there's a low right there. All right. So what I kind of want to see happen here is I want price to push up higher. So that same pattern that I was looking at earlier, When price push up higher, retrace and go up higher from that point. This is what I'm looking for. Right now, this is not really a good area to take these high-low quick scalps because price is really just going sideways. If you were to identify it like this here, you can see here that price is literally just going sideways right now. So we'll see where this goes. Still no direction here. Possible sell signal is coming. So price isn't really doing too much. As you guys can see here on the clean chart, price is just going back and forth. The range is kind of getting tighter. You can see right here from the market structure that I've drawn. That price is attempting to come back down, but it's not really having much luck. Here we go as price comes down and tests this next low. It's like it broke right through it, or it's rejecting right off it. So here we go as price starts to come on its way back down. New low has been established. There. All right. So we don't have anything to take right here. Price is really close to sessions and news price right here. So price never got his chance to come back and retest the news price, and that's kind of where it's going right now. So that's going to be the target price point down here. This is why it's really important that you guys don't just hop into buys for whatever reason, because you guys think price is going to correct back up. I think eventually it'll go back up, but price still hasn't reached this news price, right? News happened right here at 645. Price spiked up, and it's been attempting to make its way down to that news price for about 16 minutes now. So it hasn't made it down to this point. I think once price reaches this point, this will be the crossroads to determine whether price is going to bounce up and correct, or shoot back up to where it's supposed to go, or whether it's going to break below and continue dropping. So price is right here. It's right at news price now. You can see it's rejecting directly off the pink line, which is news price. Next area right there is the sessions. We have an SR zone up there now. So let's see if price makes its way back up. This is a highly manipulated area right here. It's right at news price and these sessions. So I personally wouldn't recommend chasing this for a sell, because this might be a fake out, might swing right back up. But I mean, we'll see. We'll have to see where it goes. I'm going to adjust this a little bit right here. All right. So my anticipation is that this will be a fake out. I think price will come down a little bit and it'll come right back up. I don't think this drop is going to hold down for too long. I think price will come back up, retest the sessions, and then correct all the way back up to this area up here. Up here. So we'll see where that goes. I'm going to go and just adjust this slightly. You can see this low right here. Price is like having trouble getting past it. It gets near it, it touches it, but then it doesn't actually close below it. So this is pretty much the fake out that I was just talking about right here. You can see right there where price wigged from. It wigged directly off the low right there. All right, price is pushing up. So basically what we're looking for here now, guys, is we're looking for price to break back above this area and stay above this area over here. I'm looking for this to fake out, come back up. Once it comes back up, we can look for some possible entries up there. There's technically an entry here that might come up for an SR rejection scalp, but we just don't have that right now. As you guys can see right here, if this closes as a moderate red candle, this could possibly be a SR rejection scalp, but the candle is too big, so it wouldn't fit the criteria. So this candle here is way too big. As you guys can see, this SR rejection scalp would have hit TP, but it's just way too big of a candle. So if you guys are not familiar with that, let me put the requirements here for the SR rejection scalp. That's one of the ranging strategies that we use if you guys are new and are not familiar with it. So right here, so basically for a sell, you want to identify a top wick rejection off K2SR V2 zone with a moderate red candle. So right here, this candle right here was wicking off this structure. It was a moderate red candle. It was actually a strong red candle. You confirm the trend down here is red. You're turning the direction of momentum. We have a sell signal right here, and you would enter on the open of the falling candle, which would be right here. However, this candle here is too big. You can see right here, it says no, avoid all red flags. So with that said, red flags over here. When to avoid trades when the candle prior to entry is too large. So this one right here is just way too big. So that was an SR rejection entry, but the candle is just too big. So unfortunately, we couldn't have taken that there just yet. This looks like it could be a possible V1, but it's not. Reason for that is because it's not lined. Here we go, as price starts to push back up. DeJohn's asking, did Rick get BTO? Yeah, I don't know. Rick, did you end up catching that? I think Rick might have stepped out. He was in here earlier. Yeah, I mean, this thing came right back to open. It's Rick's favorite strategy. So now that price just came down to open right here, you can see price came down and tested it. Price might be on its way back up. So what I'm looking for is I'm looking for price to be above this area over here, right? We can't trade around this area because there's sessions and news price right there. But if price pushes up high enough to here, retrace down and continue up higher, that's where I'd be looking for an entry right here. Pretty much around this area over there. So we'll see where this goes. All right, so let's see if there's anything else here for us to take. Here we go, as price starts to come back up. So here's a fake out that I was mentioning earlier. So I was telling you guys not to chase the sell here. Price came down, tested opening price, and then now it's faking out and coming right back up. So we'll see where this goes. Let's go over to the clean chart. Not really too much movement here. Volatility kind of died down a bit. This could be a possible SR rejection scalp if it closes. Candle's too big. Yeah, so this would have been a good one if the candle closed a little higher, but it's way too low and it's right next to the opening price right here. So again, right here, same entry, we have wick rejection off structure, sell momentum, trim here is red. This would have been the entry here for the sell, but the candle here is just way too big. And it's right next to the opening price right here. Yes, unfortunately, no entry here for the SR rejection scalp. It's got to wait a little longer. So yeah, this would have been a good entry. If we had that there, this would have hit full TP, but unfortunately, the candle here again is too big. So we've had a couple entries here for the SR rejection scalps, guys, but it's just been in areas where we can't trade. It's either too close to these red flags or candles too big. There's two of them that came up here, actually. There's one right here, would have been a full TP, and another one right here would have been a full TP as well. So this morning, we've actually had a lot of entries, but a lot of them are just risky. We had a couple high-low quick scalps over here, some variations, and then also down here, we had a couple SR rejection scalps as well. But they're too close to opening price right here, which would be one of the red flags. So there goes, price came down and tested the opening price. This might be time for it to swing back up. So as you guys can see, price rejected directly off opening price. See where the blue line's at? Price came down, touched it, wick right off it. Now it might be on its way back up. The volatility here is starting to die down a bit. Here's a clean chart. Yeah, I think price is on its way back up. You can see right here, price kind of came down a little bit. Looks like it was going to hit liquidity down here. But in reality, it just faked out. Now it's coming right back up. There. So we'll see. Oh, man, this thing's like, it's like market is not really moving. It'll move really quickly for like one or two candles and it just dies down. Volatility now is kind of slow. I was hoping price would finally correct on its way back up, but it's just, I mean, volatility is kind of died down right now. Let me see if there's anything else here for us to look at. Let's take a look at CNBC real quick, some breaking news here. Let's see, it says JP Morgan president says a recession may be priced to pay to beat inflation. Market boom not in yet. Yeah, and I agree too. It's not ready to come back up just yet. Still has some time to come down. Looking over here at the indices, you know, the Dow is currently up 186 points, which has changed a lot. It was up like 400 points earlier. S&P is up 6 points. Nasdaq's down 100 points. Russell 2K is up 3 points. So it's not really up that high. See if there's anything else here for us to look at. U.S. announces Russia's dirty bomb claim. More than 1 million Ukrainian homes have lost power. All right. Says Mohammed El-Iran says, don't cheer this rally. Yeah, they basically said the Federal Reserve is dealing with a trilemma: growth, inflation, and financial stability. So we have Yellen speaking later today at 8 o'clock, guys. I mean, it's probably going to be by the time we're done trading, but when she speaks, she's going to discuss a lot of, you know, regulation and whatnot. So here you go with the buy signal. Price is now pushing back up. Overall bias is still very bullish, so still looking for some buys here if price can push up, you know, high enough. Again, we're right here next to the sessions and news price. So what I'm looking for is for price to break past it. Once price breaks past this here, we can take our entries above this area. So that's kind of what I'm looking for. We just can't take them around this area because it's getting close to this, what we consider red flag, when to avoid trades. We do have the buy signal. And I mean, it's playing out just like we anticipated, right? So down here, we marked up, right? I mentioned that price came down, tested opening price, wicked right off it. Now it's pushing on its way up where we expect it to be. So we just need price to be above this area to be in the clear. Because this area down here is still red flags. This area up here would be the clear. All right, so we got price pushing up right here a little bit. There it goes. Price comes up and tests the sessions. We just need to break above it. Once it breaks above it, we'll be good for some entries above this area over here. All right, so price is inching towards the sessions right there, established a high. So, I mean, price can push up higher or it can even stay below this area as long as price doesn't come below the momentum over here. That's like the main thing. I think that might be one of the requirements that we might be adding on because that's something that I've noticed. Whenever we take these high-low quick scalps, typically you want the low to be higher than the momentum here because that usually will confirm that price will continue pushing up. Like for example, right here, we have a sell momentum, right? And we have these highs here that are below the momentum candle. Whenever you take those right there, these all would have been full TPs, full TP right here. Another full TP right there. And then as price starts to push up higher, that's where it starts to get a little messy, right? So there's just these little things that I start to notice in the market when you start trading. Like for example, here we have a sell signal. I mean, there's no entries that came up in between, but basically whenever price, so if we get a buy signal like this right here and price stays above it, odds are price can keep pushing up. So you can take entries within that area. If we have a sell signal here and price stays below it, then odds are it's going to stay below that point too. So price never reached this area right here, so we can't take anything from this point. There's a possible SR rejection scalp here again, but the candle is too big. Also, it's right next to opening price. So we have a wick rejection off structure right there. This could be a possible entry, but candle's too big. So for one, candle's too big. For two, price is right at the opening price right here again as well. So just a couple of things to look out for. But yeah, as I mentioned, these are just little things that I'm starting to notice. I mean, stuff that I already knew about because I've been looking at these types of patterns for years now. But this is applicable to this specific strategy. Looks like price is just ranging now. There's not really too much going on. Let me go and update the high lows over here. There's not really too much going on. As you guys can see, price is literally just going back and forth around this area here. Here is the range. Right down there. All right, so there's a low right here, but the problem with this is that it's at the it's at opening price. So another red flag. There's just areas here where you don't want to trade, right? If you guys are new here and you guys are not familiar with these red flags that I'm mentioning, basically whenever you guys see these horizontal lines right here, you can see this pink one, this purple one, and this blue one right here. These are going to be areas where you don't want to trade because this is where price gets highly manipulated. You can see whenever price gets near it, price will either bounce or it'll break right through it. So for example, here, price came around this area, it bounced around it, but then it broke right through it and shot down. When price got down to this opening price right here, price came down, bounced right off it. Again, right here, price is right at it again. We have a invalid sell signal here and price pushing up higher. So unfortunately, no entry there. I mean, price is just ranging within this area. So what we could look for is if we get a moderate red candle here, this could be a possible entry for an SR rejection scalp. Trend meter down here is red, sell signal, doesn't matter if it's valid or invalid. We have the wick rejection off structure right here. We just need a moderate red candle if and when we could find that. All right, so we're just getting a lot of back and forth movement here. This looks like this is the new range. Like the range is just stuck down here. This area down here. Until price breaks above it, we're probably not gonna get any moves. Trend meter is red, so like we could only take sells here for SR rejections, but we're not really getting any of those types of entries here. So we'll have to wait and see if price stays below here, if it pushes above. My preference would be that price pushes above. Main reason is because everything is still pointing towards a buy here. Retail sentiment is currently 57% short still. Fundamentals here are still up 200 points. So, I mean, everything here is still pretty, it's indicating a buy. And I also think price will push up until 8 o'clock when Yellen speaks. Yellen's going to speak right here. And I think when she speaks, she's going to have a lot of not necessarily good things to say about the economy, and regulations. So it's probably going to push price lower once we get down to that point. So again, right here, another opportunity for us to take an SR rejection scalp. We don't have that yet because there's no rejection off the structure. If the candle stays below here, we can get a possible SR rejection scalp for a sell if and when it does happen and plays out. I know. Yeah, John said, what's up with these random thick candles? Yeah, I know they just randomly come up. It'll be like small candles, low volatility, all of a sudden price spikes down. Looks like it's hitting liquidity down here. So, I mean, if price decides to stay below here, then that's fine. We can continue taking sells. Right here, another opportunity, but it doesn't look like we're going to get that SR rejection scalp just yet, or maybe possibly price pushes up a little bit and provides a wick rejection, then we can get it, but we obviously don't have that right now at the moment. Here goes, price drops lower. This might be in preparation to Yellen speaking. All right, so nothing here yet. I mean, if anything, if this candle does provide a wick rejection, candle is going to be too big anyway, so we won't be able to take anything. All right, 15 seconds left on this here. Ten seconds, 5 seconds. All right, so price is pushing up right here. This candle again is too big. So as you guys can see, I'm looking for these SR rejection scalps. If you guys are not familiar with it, I was basically looking for a wick rejection here, but this candle here is again too big. If you look over here, even if the candle closes just a little bit in the red down here, the wick right here is like way past the stop loss. So price does retrace up higher, it'll stop you out before it hits your TP. So unfortunately, no entry here. I was looking for a possible SR rejection scalp, but we're not getting that here. There was a possible entry right here for a high-low quick scalp, but it came down to the opening price. So let's see, this candle is closing in about 10 seconds. This again would be another SR rejection scalp, but we can't take it because the candle here is just too big, like I mentioned. All right, so I need this to push up a little bit, just a little bit for it to touch the zone right here. It hasn't done that yet. So let's see, we got about 40 seconds left on here. Again, candle's too big. So, it's a typical pattern that just keeps coming up. You'll have like these small candles where you have some possible entries. Then all of a sudden, these big candles right here, these candles are like way too big. They're almost 1,000 pips. So you'll get these big, like 800 pip candles, and then the next one will be super small, like a 400 pip candle, and then the next one will be super huge again. So you want to be careful with taking these trades here because you don't want to get caught on the wrong side. So for example, here, I can see them kind of luring in sellers at this moment. You probably don't want to chase any sells right now because looking over here at the sentiment, you can see the number here is starting to increase, right? It went from 57. Actually, earlier this morning, it was like 56, and then it went up to 57. Now it's at 58. You can see a lot of retail traders are starting to bandwagon onto these shorts here. So you want to be a bit careful with taking these shorts because price might be shifting this way all the way back up to stop everybody out. So people who are entering sells right here, if you think about where they're going to place your stop losses are probably placed around this area right here. So when price does come back up, it's going to want to stop loss hunt, knock everyone out. 624 right now, still no entries for us to take. Hoping to catch at least one today if I could possibly. Now that price is down here, we can possibly look for some high-low scalps down below, but I'm still looking for some buys here if price does end up making its way, back up. The only problem is that we have a lot of red flags here. Now we have open price right there, news price and sessions right there. So it's going to be a lot of no-go zones when you get around there. Okay, so possible entry again right here for an SR rejection scalp. We'll have to see if this actually closes properly. About 40 seconds left on this candle here. Gotta make sure the candle is not too big. Still got 30 seconds, a lot of time. All right, big wick on the bottom. Looks like it's not going to close out. About 15 seconds. Yeah, it does not look like it's going to close. 10 seconds, definitely no entry there. So in order for us to have an entry there, we needed this to close as a moderate red candle. It didn't even close as a red candle at all. So definitely no entry there once again. All right, so now that price is kind of below here, I'm looking for two types of entries. I'm looking for an SR rejection scalp, or I'm also looking for a high-low quick scalp for a sell, if we can get that. We have a low right here, so if we get a high that comes up, at some point over here, we can possibly cash that down for a little drop. Right here, this candle here is not touching the structure, so there's no entry there for an SR rejection scalp. Also, the candle's too big, so go figure. No entry off that. All right, still waiting for this here. All right, so still no entries here, guys, unfortunately. Price did come down to hit and pretty much knocked out all the liquidity. So if you guys saw all the liquidity from today, there's a lot of liquidity on top that got knocked out. All the liquidity down here also got knocked out. And I circled it right here to show you guys that, price will probably just, if it does come below here, it's going to come and knock out liquidity. So I'm going to go and just update the high lows over here to clean this up a little bit. And it looks good. So here goes, price pushes back up. So on this next candle here, possible high-low quick scalp. Never mind, there's a buy signal there. Oh, man, frustrating market today. So this would have been an okay high-low quick scalp if there was no buy signal. Unfortunately, there was a buy signal, so we can't take that trade there anymore. It's a lot of back and forth movement. There was, a lot of possible K2 SR scalps, rejection scalps there, but we couldn't take any because the candles were too big. Again, right here, I was looking for this high to establish so we can look for some sells, but a buy signal came up right here. So yeah, we get so close to finding this entry, and then all of a sudden, these random candles just come up. Let's see, Seth said potential high-low quick scalp on the 30-minute. Yeah, I'll check it out, Seth. Let's see. So the signal here never closed on the 10, so there's no daily entry off that. 30-minute over here. This is what Seth was mentioning. Yeah, this might be the big push up, Seth, like the push up that we were kind of waiting for, right? Because it's like pushing up over here. So now that we have this buy signal, this might be the reversal pattern that we're looking for. And it might be pushing up from there. So we'll see. We'll come back to it shortly. It's going in the direction that we want. So it does fit criteria. Yeah, exactly. Seth said, yeah, this goes with your anticipation of the push up. Yeah, and that's kind of what I'm waiting for too. Earlier we were waiting for price to push above here, never came above. Now that price is below here, we can look for it at this point now. So we'll see. Yeah, but if that's the case, yeah, this could push up pretty heavy. This candle's about to close too. I just don't know what the TV stop loss would be on the 30 minutes. Such a big time frame. I mean, we use like 150 probably as a threshold. So we'll see. I'm not going to take the trade, but we'll follow here on the 30 minute. I've never looked at it on this high of a time frame. So basically, but then again, there's a sell signal right there. So that might have invalidated it. And we'll see. Let's leave this here. We'll come back to it shortly. Let's see. Question from Natasha. Natasha said the sell signal is invalid. Does that not matter when looking for a high-low quick scalp? No, it doesn't matter, Natasha. So the only reason you're looking for the momentum signal is to identify, which direction to be trading. But since your trade isn't based off the actual momentum signal, then it's not necessary. If the trade is based off the momentum signal, then yeah, it'll have, some relevance. But like, for example, if you get an invalid signal like this right here, right, and the trade comes like way later, then it's pretty much irrelevant because like that move has already happened. So yeah, no need for that for this specific strategy. For this one or the SR rejection. It wouldn't matter too much. Or even the variations. It's just certain strategies that come straight off that type of entry. So price is pushing up right here. It's pushing up a little higher. The trend meter down here is still red, guys, so we can't take any SR rejections for buys. The only thing that we can really take right now would be the high-low quick scalps. So we're basically waiting for price to push up a little higher because now it's establishing a high. Once it comes down and retraces and establishes a low, then we can enter that for a quick scalp. So like, for example, price pushed up right here, waiting for that retracement, continuation up higher, and this is where we'd be taking the trade. So we need a high here to establish. Once it establishes, wait for that retracement. Once we get that retracement, we can look for the possible buy. All right. So this is fine. I actually want price to push up a little higher. I want price to get as close to, this area up here as possible so that we have a bigger retracement back down. Like I need this to retrace like up to like this area over here. So this is kind of what I'm looking for. Price push up a little bit higher, come down, establish a low. We can take that for a high-low quick scalp back up higher. And this falls in line with our criteria here for the overall bullish bias. You can see everything down here is green. So we have a very strong bullish bias overall. Sentiment over here is also, so you can see how this number here just decreased, right? It went from 58, or yeah, I think 58 to 56. What do you think happened to those 2% of people? They got stopped out. Whoever was chasing the sells here earlier just got stopped out because price just pushed up about 1,600 pips right here. So nice. Yeah, Patrick said no trend meter, so he didn't take it, but the SR hit. Yeah, so there was an SR right here that could have came up. Unfortunately, the trend meter is red, so you can't take any buys right now for the SR rejection. The only buys I can look for here would be for the high-low quick scalp. So yeah, no good spotting that, Patrick. Unfortunately, we couldn't take that trade there, but it would have been nice. So here goes the entry right here that I marked up earlier, right? So this is the one that that Seth identified as a and this is where the wick stopped. So you would have taken the entry down there and it would be in profit now about 500 pips. So I'll keep following this right here, Seth, and we'll come back and look at it. But yeah, this is pretty much maybe the sweet spot for this would be 1,500 pips because it looks like it's big enough to like catch, a decent move. So yeah, the patterns still work perfectly fine, guys. Like when you guys see these patterns that I show you guys, they work on like all time frames. It's just that I don't trade them because it's just too high of a time frame. Like for example, here on the 30 minute, you can look at these variations here. This would be one right here. This one also would have been a full TP. So if you guys want to test this on hard time frames, you guys are more than welcome. I just haven't tested them, so I can't give you guys, I can tell you guys confidently that it works, but if you go back and test it, I'm sure you guys will find a lot of good entries. All right, so price starting to trace down a little bit right here. What we're looking for is that low. So we need a low. Once we get that low, we can catch it or continue riding it up higher for a high-low quick scalp. So I just need price to drop down a little bit, a little more. Once it does, we can continue riding this. All right. So we just need this to come down a little bit. It's establishing new highs, which is fine. All right, here we go. Price pushes up higher, going back to that 30-minute that Seth identified. Looks like it's gonna hit full TP, Seth. It's right at the sessions though, so a little bit of a risky area. Price might come back down a little bit. But I mean, it looks fine for the most part. Yeah, I know Patrick said, yeah, another SR hit without the trend meter. Yeah, there's another one right here. Moderate green candle, wick rejection off structure. You know, Monday's just a tricky day to trade, guys. Like, also one thing to keep in mind is that this is the last month of October. Typically, the last month of the last week of each month, the market's it's either gonna be really good or it's gonna be really bad. If you guys have been seeing, you know, how the market's been every month, usually. So like, if this month is, I mean, if this week is really good, then NFPs usually be pretty rough, right? If this week sucks and it's kind of slow, then NFP is typically going to be really good. Right now, it looks like the market's doing pretty good. So, and we'll see. Today's just Monday though, so we got to figure out how it's going to continue moving as we continue on with the, you know, the rest of the trading week. But yeah, it's just the same. I mean, the market conditions are typically the same every month. You know, first week is usually it's NFP, so it's usually either really good or really bad. Same with the last week of each month. First week and fourth or fifth week, which should be the last week, typically determines, you know, what the following week would be like. So we'll see. Yeah, Seth said he wish he took that 30-minute quick scalp. I know, me too, right? It's pushed up. Let's see. So from entry point right here, it's pushed up like about 1,000 pips already. 1,120 pips. Sorry, 1,200 pips. And it'll probably keep pushing. Let's see. Yeah, 10-minute is right at the sessions right now. So you can see where price is like bouncing right off, right? It's bouncing right off the purple sessions right there, which is the Asia high. Here we go with the US30 retracing down a little bit. So this is fine that price is retracing. If it does retrace, I want it to retrace down a little further, like down here, so that when we get that low, we can cash it because it pushes back up. So let's see where this goes. Yeah, but it's like literally right at the sessions right now. So 3 minutes at the sessions, 5 minute or 10 minutes at the sessions, 30 minutes, just like right down there, right down the middle. There goes price bounces around this area. Trend meter is blue. All right. See where this goes. 738. Hopefully we can catch at least one here. Okay, so price bounced around this area. I want it to push down a little more. I mean, the more it pushes down, the more room we have away from the sessions right here. I don't want to be trading near the session. So if we do have an interest for a quick high-low quick scalp, I need this to like drop a little more further down here. So this needs to come like down to here if I'm going to take that entry, because it's right at the sessions right here. And you can see where price is rejected from, like right here. It's having trouble getting past it. Still sideways movement over here. So not too much going on here. You guys can see price is trying to get past the sessions right there, but it's not having any luck. So I'm still waiting for it to push back a little bit. The main thing that I don't want though is I'm okay with it pushing back, but I don't want it to come up with a sell signal. Or if it does come with the sell signal, I mean it's not horrible. We'd still look for SR rejection scalp. So a couple profits right here posted from, let's see, from Deswell. So Kenny over here actually took the buy earlier. He locked in a total profit of 891 for the day. Nice work, Kenny. Looking over here at Deswell. Deswell is currently up 4,394 for the day. He took the buys earlier as well. So great work, guys, if you guys caught that breakout earlier this morning. Or not breakout, but those buys that we were identifying. Deswell again right there, 4,000. Going down to Deswell right there. Deswell and Kenny, 4,800. We have David over here as well. David currently up 42.71. Nice work, David. So it looks like a lot of you guys here actually took those buys earlier this morning. The ones that we identified, with the breakout. I didn't take any of those entries, so I don't have any profits from those, unfortunately, but I'm glad to see that so many guys here did take some. Right here, we have another sell signal coming up. So we might have a possible entry for an SR rejection scalp if price continues to, and I'm going to keep an eye on the chart so I don't miss it. Last thing I want to do is take my eyes off the chart for like a few seconds, and then we miss this entry here that we've been waiting for. So we have a pending sell signal right here. Take that zone off. See if there's anything else down here. All right. So this is a possible SR rejection scalp right here, guys. We got to wait for it to close. It needs to be a moderate red candle. It can't be too big. So we have the rejection right there. Sell signal, trend meter is red. We just need this to close as a moderate red candle, and it can't close too far below. And it's got to be a moderate red candle. It can't come up and be a green candle. So let's see, we got about 30 seconds. We still got a lot of time on this candle right here. So I'm waiting for this to close here. In order for it to be moderate, the body has to be bigger than the bottom wick. It's the main thing. Bottom wick is really big right now. Got about 20 seconds left. It's now a green candle. Got about 10 seconds left here. It does not look like it's going to close. Countdown right here in 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. No entry, fortunately. So no entry there. Again, here, not really much of an entry. So unfortunately, no entry here again, guys. Price is still pushing down lower. We need price to stay within this area to get our wick rejection because we can't take anything down here, obviously. It's going to be right at opening price. So let's take a look at the sentiment again. So you can see the sentiment here increased back up to 58%. It was back to 55, then it came back up to 58. So a lot of people are starting to chase these sells. So you can see that they just keep getting lured in. So price will come down, lure in some more sellers, price comes back up, stops them out, and it's just a back and forth movement. So right here with this number increasing, I'm actually expecting price to come right back up. It's 7:44 right now. We have about like 15 minutes until 8. Trying to squeeze at least one in here if I can somewhere. 30-minute right here is still running. I'm gonna go and update the market structure here so that you guys can see a little better where price is going. All right, so just looking at this right here, price is pretty much just going sideways from this point, right? As you guys can see, sideways moving right there, not really much going on. Yeah, I mean, other than that, there's not really too much here to look at. We don't have a wick rejection off this here, so this can't be an entry for an SR rejection scalp. Also, the candle here is too big. We just got a random big candle right here. This candle is about, it's not huge, but it's too big to take an entry here if you want an SR rejection scalp. No high-low quick scalps. There's just nothing for us to take right here in this area. Still waiting for this entry patiently if we could find one. Looks like volatility kind of, I mean, it's definitely died down a bit. You can see up here, price is pushing up pretty quickly. Earlier in the market, price came back below here. Now it's just been ranging around this area. Yeah, there's not really too much to look at here. Price is pretty much just going, it's in a range, but it's in a big range. So it just keeps going back and forth over here. Here goes, price comes back down to opening price. All right, so here are below opening price. We'll see if it stays below here. If it stays below, then great. We can look for some possible entries, but I mean, if not, just have to wait. Let's take a look at the 10-minute, still bullish, I believe. Yeah, it's still pretty green. So the trend meter here is bullish, but you can see that price is coming down below the pivot. So if that becomes the case, this can start to change to red. 15 here too. So it looks like a lot of these 30 minutes still very bullish, but the 15 and the 10 over here look like it's starting to come, down below. It's having issues getting past the opening price and past the pivots, but it is kind of making its way down. Slower and slower. Yeah, CT said pivots are flat on most small time frames. Be careful. Yeah, and I agree too. CT, it's kind of just going back and forth. There's no clear direction here. As you guys can see, the pivots over here are crossing over each other. They're just getting jumbled up. Typically, when that happens, that means that price is in consolidation, but we already knew that because looking at market structure here, price has been in consolidation for quite some time. You can see it a little bit better here on the markups because you can see price just goes between zones. It goes up, hits the zone, comes down, hits the zone, comes back up, and just bounces around this area without actually having any true direction. So here goes price, kind of bounces around here a little bit. Not too much going on here. Price again just bounced off opening price, and it's not really doing too much. So the one thing that we can look out for here, I mean, we could still look for some SR rejection scalps, but we could also look for some high-low quick scalps. So price is pushing up right here. In order for us to have any entry here for a sell, we need price to push up slightly, come back up, reject off the structure here. And then we write it down from there. Looking over here at sentiment, you can see sentiment just keeps changing. People are pulling in and out of the position. So people enter some sells here, and then they just get stopped out or they just pull out of the position. It's at 57% now. It was at 58 earlier. And yeah, price just keeps going back and forth. So, I mean, basically a lot of these strategies are like, it's like pure price action, but we use our indicators here to identify certain price structures. So we're looking at these zones over here as rejection points. And for the high-low quick scalps, we're looking for continuations. So we're looking for the highs to establish, identify that as the high point, and then a continuation back down, obviously. All right, it's getting close to 8. It's about like 7:50 right now. So I'll probably stay on for a little longer today, guys, just to see if we can find anything. If we see anything before, then we'll just wrap it up after we take our trade. But and we'll have to see how this plays out. So here goes, price drops lower. It's right now below the opening price. Let's see if price actually closes below it, or if it just rejects off again, like these 3 candles. If it doesn't close below it, this is 3 tests now for this opening price. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Again, right here, price had trouble closing below it. It just came down, tested it, and then bounced right back above. So we'll see where it goes from here. Still nothing for us to identify here. So key price points to look out for: opening price right here and the sessions up here. Or what happened to the sessions? I think I actually accidentally deleted them. I can fix that. I don't remember when I deleted them. Oh, there we go. All right, so we had a possible high-low quick scalp here, but again, there's another buy signal. So no high-low quick scalp at this point. All right, maybe it's time for it to finally swing to the upside. So you guys can see that price is just going back and forth in this area. There's no area for us to really trade in. Like looking down here, there is no SR rejection scalps, no high-low quick scalps. It's just been this whole area. Basically, when price broke into this area down here, from now until current price, we've been waiting for about 52 minutes with no ability to take any trades here because there's no entries that are coming up. Now that price is pushing back up right here, this is perfectly fine because we're looking for a buy here anyways, or we wanted to look for a buy. And we just need this to push up higher. So here we go with the correction back to the upside. Let's check your 30 over here. So Seth, your entry is still running here on the 30-minute as well. So it's coming right back up. We just need to get past these sessions. You guys can see here where this is the issue. Price keeps getting near the sessions right here, and then it just comes right back down. Same with this over here. Price came up, faked out, came back down. Price comes down, gets the opening price, fakes out, comes right back up. So we need price to stay above here if possible. And we'll see how we can take this as price continues to move along here. So we need price to actually close above. Once it does, we can take some SR rejection scalps up here, or we can take some high-low quick scalps. 752 right now. So we'll see. Let me see if Yellen, go to YouTube real quick, see if they have a live stream of Yellen. Today's the 24th. So I don't see any links for her live stream up yet. I mean, it might come up later, but I do not see anything there right now. All right. All right, so let's have to wait for it. She is scheduled to speak at 8 o'clock. I don't see any links here for her live stream, but yeah, Treasury Secretary Yellen speaks here at 8 o'clock. Due to participate in a moderated discussion at the Securities Industry and Financial Markets Association annual meeting in New York. So she's not necessarily having any specific speech. She's going to be moderating. She's going to be participating in a moderated discussion. So, and we'll see. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's not going to get a live stream, which is fine. Man, so price did not make its way past the sessions over here. There's a possible high-low quick scalp right here, though, for a buy if this closes. So let's see if we can get an entry here for a high-low quick scalp. Buy signal right there. 20 seconds. We got to make sure it's not too close to the sessions, though. It's probably gonna come up for the retest. So let's see if we can get this right here. About 10 seconds left on this candle. Couple more seconds here. Let's see. Trying to see where the entry could be at. Okay, so but the quick scalp is like right here. Is where I made my entry at. See, it's kind of bouncing around a lot. Actually, I couldn't even get into it. I was trying to get into right here. Did anyone get into this entry here, guys? I was trying to get in, but I couldn't. I hit buy and it didn't fill my order. And I don't know what's up with like MC4. Have you guys had issues like that with you should probably should have hit your TP, Natasha. Did you get in? Or you pulled out? Yeah, Seth got in and out in a second. Yeah, so if you got in, it probably would have hit your TP. I don't know what's up with my MC4. It's like I hit buy. I don't know, maybe it's because my cursor wasn't on it, but I couldn't get into the trade. So it looks like a lot of you guys here, if you guys did get in, you got in and pulled you out in profit like right away because it did spike up super quickly. Actually, yeah, Natasha said yes, it did, but it didn't get her full TP. Maria said she did. Seth said he got in. Jonathan said he got in. So if you guys made profit on it, great. Unfortunately, I couldn't get in on it. I was trying to. I've been having this issue with my MT4 for the past couple of weeks now where like I hit the buy button. It might be my quick trade manager. I might have to just go back to the DOM because this quick trade manager kind of screws me over sometimes. Where it's just not, it doesn't execute my trades when I hit buy, and I don't want to hit twice because I don't want to get in twice. So yeah, if you guys made profit on it, great. It's gonna be hard for me to mark this up because I didn't have the I guess we could just mark it. It was like somewhere around this area where the entry was made. Yeah, Natasha said it happens to her sometimes too. I might have to restart my computer because I don't think I've turned off my computer in like months because I just leave it on all day. Yeah, Natasha said, and of course I make a mistake and it hits again, and then she ends up in 2 trades. Yeah, that's the thing that I'm trying to avoid. I don't want to end up like making that mistake where I end up doing that. Yeah, Brian said mine is doing the same. I hit buy and there's a slight delay. Yeah, it's kind of annoying because it's the market's moving so fast, so you don't really have time to, make adjustments. So it's all good. I'm glad to see a lot of you guys here. If not, everyone make profit off that trade there. I'll give a little update right here for you guys. And we will, I guess we'll be wrapping it up for the week, or not for the week, for the day. It's currently 7:57 right now, so it's about a few minutes till 8. I don't really recommend trading when Yellen starts speaking because she's going to cause market to move pretty heavily. So it looks like some of you guys here posted some profits. Looking over here at Seth. Seth is currently up 8,269. Nice work, Seth. Great work, guys. So the reason why I was inclined to take the buy here is because we have a couple trades running, in that direction. We had a bullish bias as well. So this 30-minute trade over here that Seth was looking at was still running. So we're like, okay, if this is running, price is likely to keep pushing up higher. Also, we have the sentiment over here, currently 57% short, indicating that 57% of retail traders are currently selling. So you want to do the opposite buy. Fundamentals are bullish, 4-hour, 1-hour, 30-minute, 15-minute, and 10-minute, all bullish. So our bias here was very strong for a buy. So, basically, that's why I was inclined to take the buy here, even though it did seem and look like it was a little risky, right? But I'm glad that it hit. Yeah, other than that, I think that might be it for today. If you guys have any questions, feel free to put them in the chat. Otherwise, you guys know that we are having our mentoring session later today. So if you guys have any specific questions or you guys want to, dive deep into these strategies, just make sure to attend the mentoring session later today. There's actually 2 entries right here. So I don't know if anyone spotted the second one. There was another high-low quick scalp that happened right here off this high. So, whichever one you guys took, if you take this one full TP, if you take this one full TP as well, price is just pushing up a little higher as price continues to move along here. Oh, nice. Okay, so yeah, CT said holding due to SR rejection. So if price does push up a bit higher right here, there might be a possible SR rejection. The one thing that I want to be careful for, that I want you guys to be careful for, is that Yellen is speaking right here at 8 o'clock. So the last thing you want to do is enter a trade, and then she says something, price starts to spike around, which is kind of what I see happening here. Nice. Yeah, so CT is still actually holding it. Yeah, Natasha said she has MT4 on her phone too. So when that happens, she just looks at her phone to verify whether she's in the trade or not. That's a smart move. I didn't think about that, Natasha. So I'm going to actually do that next time if I end up in that issue there. See, CT said, no, he entered at 757, high low quick scalp, held due to the SR rejection. Oh gosh, okay, so you entered right here. Yo, you entered on the second one. So CT entered on the second one here. He saw the SR rejection and he held it, kept on pushing higher. Nice, CT. So that's why these strategies here work very well, right? So like a lot of these go hand in hand. For example, you have an SR, you have a high low quick scalp right here. And then CT saw that there was another SR rejection. This wasn't technically an SR rejection entry because the trend meter was not green. However, overall bias was bullish and he identified this and price pushed up higher from that point. So solid work right there, CT. Let's see, Maria said FTMO took a year to close her position and of course in the red. Oh, that's crazy. Did anyone else have issues with FTMO? I couldn't take a trade, so I didn't really see anything on my end, but yeah, Jonathan said his delay costed him and he didn't get out. Yeah, I mean, price came right back up though, right? So if you guys waited, I mean, you guys probably could have made profit, but yeah, it did draw down a little bit right here. So I mean, depending on where yours closed, might have been an issue there. I mean, it didn't drop down that much. So it dropped down like maybe 300 pips. So if you drop down, if you got in at a decent price point, you should have been able to maybe at least survive the move. But looks like some people are having issues with delay. I had an issue with delay. I hit buy and the trade didn't execute. So I just didn't even get into the trade. Jonathan was delayed with his entry. And then Maria here said that it took forever for her position to close. I guess it went past her TP, didn't close. And then she actually closed out with some red. Gosh, yeah, Natasha said she got out because her stop loss was at 200 pips. So her stop loss was pretty close and she just, pulled out early. Yeah, possible SR scalp right here, guys. So we just have one official entry for today. Unfortunately, I didn't even get into myself, but I try to get into it. Possible SR rejection scalp right here if the candle close is moderate. If it doesn't, then no entry. But it's past 8, so I don't think I'm going to be taking any other trades. So Yellen is supposed to speak right now, guys. She's not the only person speaking. She's participating in a moderated discussion at the Security Industry and Financial Markets Association annual meeting. So with that said, there's not really much for us to take right now. I don't recommend trading during Yellen. She talks about a lot of regulations. So you might see price kind of spike around back and forth for a bit. So other than that, guys, if you guys have any questions, feel free to, email me, Sean@KodiKaiTrades.com, or you guys can message me on Telegram. Otherwise, later today, we're having our mentoring session at 2. So if you guys can attend, that'd be great. We would be covering the main strategies that we apply here on the live. And we'll be fine tuning, anything that we need to cover. So some more profits over here from Natasha. Natasha locked in a total profit of 256 for the day. Great work, Natasha. Maddie over here as well, currently up 1,859 for the day. Nice work, Maddie. And I think that's about it. If you guys have any profits to post up, feel free to post them up. Otherwise, I'll probably just wrap it up for the day. Just keep in mind, today's Monday, so we have a whole week ahead of us, guys. You don't have to force any trades today. Just wait for the market to pick up. Once it picks up into the week, you'll have some more opportunities to take some better entries. There's a possible SR rejection scalp right here that's coming up. Wick on top's too big, so unfortunately, no entry off that. So, all right, guys, I think that's it. If you guys have any questions, feel free to reach out. Otherwise, I will see you guys here in about 6 hours for the mentoring session this week, where we will dive into all 4 strategies that we apply here on the live. So, all right, guys, other than that, I'll see you guys in a couple hours. If you guys have any questions,